All right, Sean, we got a Rocket Lab here. I know this is one that you've been following closely. What are your thoughts on this one? It looks like it's at five 5.46 today. It's a little almost $5.50, up 6%. Not sure what happened today. Maybe just a little small spike for no reason. Looks like once those back went through, it was all the way up to 18. So, but people, the directors and everybody else sells catches out in the beginning, and they come back in later and buy again. But yeah.
Yeah, what we have here is another unprofitable SPAC. Recently went public by way of a SPAC merger and just not profitable yet, but I like this company. I like what they're doing. The company provides basically two different levels of services: launch services, so end-to-end launch services for satellites on small to mid-sized payloads, and space systems, which includes space engineering, program management, satellite components, spacecraft manufacturing, mission operations, and flight software. So they handle everything, or they can handle parts of it. They have one main rocket that they use now, and they have another one in development. Sort of the Tesla model. We get the expensive payloads, then we're working on a smaller rocket that
So are they
more
building
people can afford.
are they building rockets that go into space, or are the military rockets?
Well, they could carry any number of payloads. It's just they're smaller to mid-size. They're not going to get the SpaceX business. They're getting the smaller business.
Got it.
And they have their manufacturing in Long Beach, California, and they have a launch site in New Zealand.
Oh, okay.
So we work back and forth with they work back and forth with the government in New Zealand and the U.S. and to provide launch services for companies, and they're trying to be part of the new space race. Make it more affordable. Um,
The revenue seems to be going up. So I know it's back in December 2021. It was 27 million, and right now it's at 55 million. So they doubled the revenue in what 6 months. So that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is.
To double it.
The other thing that's interesting about this, if you think about it, a rocket business, it's not like any normal business. You have to have a lot of cash on hand. So when you look at their ratios, they've got a lot of current assets. They've got a lot of cash. They've got good quick ratio, current ratios. So those all look good. They're just working on the revenue side, getting more business, and that's obviously key. And they're trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
And they're cheap.
One of the benefits about SPACs is that they do get a lot of cash. It's from the banks. They got to pay it back, obviously, but yeah, it's the one positive that these companies do get a chance to take off. No pun intended with this one, but yeah, I like it actually. This is the first time I've heard of it, but I'm keep my eye on it. I like it. It's cheap. It's only $5 right now, and relatively speaking, it's not too big of a company either. Where is it at? 2 billion, so 2.5. So it's has plenty of room to grow if you're comparing it to the Boeing's of the world, the Northrop Grumman's of the world. Definitely has a lot of room to grow.
And here's the thing: it is an unprofitable SPAC. It's a recently public company. Typically, you want to kind of avoid that. But if you look at their cash positions and their current and quick ratios, they've got a lot of cash on hand. They're not going belly up anytime soon. They are loaded with cash. And that's what you would expect in a company in the early growth cycle. Could be a while, though, before you see any benefit coming from it. Could be a long play again. But I could see this company, picking up the fish that are too small for SpaceX and really moving into that sector.
Yeah, no, even this drop, it hasn't been a steep drop. It's been kind of a gradual drop. We all know the market's been dropping since late last year, so it's been a little bit of a gradual drop. So it's not like some other stocks that we've seen where it's just a steep drop.
Well, I mean, it already had its steep drop a while back. I mean, again, this is
Yeah.
one of the speculative plays, but I think it's one that's trending in the right direction, has enough cash. They're not going anywhere. Um, I like this company. I like what they're doing.
So if you had
But it's a long play.
if
It's
you
a
had
long
$1,000, you're gonna throw some money on this.
Yeah, but not if I needed the $1,000 in the next 2 years.
Okay, I get it. Okay.
It's possible we could see it even, you know, who knows? It could double, but at that point, it's still only, 10, $11 a share.
So it's definitely
And
a long hold getting
it's
through this little bit of a
and
recession that we have.
well, yeah, the market turbulence is gonna be beating beating up on these unprofitable stocks. These unprofitable companies are going to get beat up in this market. But again, that presents a buying opportunity, and I think this is one of the ones that you actually could grab, hold, and see some good results from that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it has to do with space. Anything with space always has my eye.
We're in a new space race, man. I mean, this isn't going nowhere but up.
Yeah, definitely. All right.